What I was saying is that the personal nature of these platforms, we don't really even fundamentally understand right now, because it is humanity. We've never seen anything like this. Hey everybody, Bonin Bough here from Adweek. So you guys have been with me the whole week. In the beginning of the week, I did a number of panels. We thought that social was going to be a one-to-one interaction, and that was the holy grail, and that's what we're going to do. But what we realized really quickly, it was still a broadcast medium, but this is where you talk to your mom. When you look at messaging, like the access of messaging, now I'm having conversations that really represent who I am, and now what do I do and distill that data? The moment you go into your chat, you're in a whole different mindset. You're like, okay, this is my safe place. There's no conversation about this. And we're all stuck in AI and bots. 5 billion people text message. All of consumer time is now spent in this thing, and yet we as an industry have no solution. And then the last day of Adweek, Thursday, I ran the entire message track. For me, where the absence is there's an absence of investment spent from brands into this messaging tech space, and how do we begin to increase that investment, and more importantly, bring awareness to the opportunity and the power that these platforms have. There's a whole generation that doesn't know email exists. So everything that exists on email today will have to exist on messaging tomorrow. That's where consumer attention is going. That's what we have to figure out. And I think what's more interesting is that the adoption and engagement rates of this are so much higher because nobody's there. And so people are more willing. Now, this might get cluttered over time, and we might see those adoption rates go down as marketers ruin that experience, but we know that this space is going to take off. The question is really from a brand and publisher perspective, who's going to get there and who's going to identify that trend and then execute on that trend early. We had people like Loeb, we had Shingy, we had Zach from Dirty Lemon, we had Micmac, we had OneQ, we had a number of the portfolio companies, but I think more importantly is we had robust and unique discussions on really where the future of this space is going. The only place that you can see this at Adweek anywhere. One of the most illuminating things I think that was said is intimacy, is the importance of these channels and how intimate they are.
There is a real trust and intimacy and value that I think is even more important around messaging, particularly as the world goes into a closed, interconnected network of humans. Fun's being had in a very close, intimate relationship around messaging. When brands think about messaging, they're going to think about one-to-one en masse. And that's challenging, but that's utopian, because it means that you know who I am, and you know what I want, and you know where I'm headed.
And so that's me, Bonin Bough. Don't forget to subscribe to B Suite, or feel free to text me, 646-759-1837, or log on and hit me up on Facebook, or leave me some comments on LinkedIn where you can find all my content, and hopefully I'll see you next year or in one of the other cities next year at Adweek. Peace, I'm out.